This is the Murmur, the Murmur, the Murmur, the Murmur, the Murmur ASMR, and welcome to this video. We find ourselves today in the Governor of Poker, number 33333333333. This is the road to a billion, a billion, a billion, a billion, a billion, a billion, a billion dollars. This is my challenge that I've decided to embark on, where we try to reach a $1 billion net worth on this game. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many videos, we are reaching a billion. We are reaching a billion. The other thing that will be happening in this video is that I have a list of facts that I'm going to be reading from during some of the dull moments during the poker games. Let's start with a $1 million buy-in at one of the cash games, and we can talk through a little bit of the poker. I have the volume of this game very, very low, but still should be slightly audible so you can hear the relaxing sound of the chips and the cards being dealt. I hope you enjoy it. The first lesson that you must know about poker is that you really can learn how to become a good poker player on Governor of Poker. The game is, might as well be a totally different game compared to how real poker is played, like on TV or in the real casino. People in this game are truly wild men, like gambling crazy amounts of money. Oh my god, even this would be a great example. They are going all in with literally nothing. This guy went in with 9 high, and they just want to get rich quick, which, believe me, isn't a successful strategy. So this guy's literally Peter, our friend Peter here, Mr. Alien. At least I think that's an alien. He's going all in every hand. That is not a good strategy. You probably don't even need to know poker to know that that's probably not a good idea. I might call him here once he goes all in if I walk in fours. Yeah. No, but we've got some callers. This is a bit more scary. I'm gonna fold because my equity is quite low against 1, 2, 3, 4 players. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, I would have hit my 4, but whatever. It was still the right decision to fold. So basically, I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. The whole point of poker is that you want to have the best 5-hand combination. You heard me? 5-card, not 5-hand, 5-card combination at the table at the end of the round. You have 2 cards in your hand. You have 2 cards in your hand that you can use in combination with the cards on the board that we see in front of ourselves. You can use those 2 cards to create that best 5-card hand. I'm not going to go through kind of the intricacies of hand rankings and stuff like that during this video because I feel like that would get a bit complicated and stuff like that. But basically, there's different rankings of how good that 5-card combination is. And so that determines who wins the hand. Basically, you can think of it as starting off as just a high card, so an ace or a king, and it goes down in order, the order you probably already know: ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or we would say deuce, and for some strange reason, I'm not sure why. But anyway. So that's kind of like the weakest possible hand. Is you have no kind of cool combos or pairs. You just end up having a high card, but still sometimes matches some of the other cards. So, yeah. This guy might jam on me, and I think I'm going to call all these people fold. Ace high is pretty good. I'm still going to call. These guys are calling with trash. Look at that one. In a real game, no one would ever go all in with ace 4 off. And by off, I just mean it's offsuit. Okay. So, Peter is an absolute crazy person, or maybe I should say alien. Kelly seems like he or she kind of knows what they're doing because they went all in with a strong hand. This box here is definitely doesn't know what they're doing here. In a way, this almost gets a little boring if you're constantly just going up against opponents that are going all in every hand. But it is a very easy way to make money because they're just not playing with any strategy. And so you just need to be a tiny bit more selective for your cards than they are. And you will literally clean up. Interesting that Peter didn't go all in when I raised it. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a pair of kings, which is very likely the best hand. As such, I knew he would do it. So as such, I knew I had the best hand to bet because I wanted other people to have to pay to keep on playing with me. That's the one way to think about it. Honestly, against Peter, ace high is probably good too. I'm gonna call this too. I think it's trash. Exactly, it's trash. And we're gonna win this hand. It's that easy, folks. It's that easy. Honestly, with how poorly Peter's playing, I might honestly call this too. Especially now since I have a big stack. Okay. I'm gonna fold. Okay, let's see what's next. Peter, don't cry. You need to be actually playing with some strategy if you're gonna cry. Okay, let's talk about our first fact. Our first fact is that goats have rectangular pupils. These rectangular pupils give them a 320-degree field of vision, a nearly full panorama without turning their head. That's kind of crazy. I'm sure you've heard about sea otters being able to hold hands, or not being able to, they often hold hands while sleeping so they don't drift apart. But did you know what that behavior is called? That behavior is called rafting. That's kind of cool. My next fact is that did you know that cows have best friends? Studies have shown that they are measurably less stressed and produce more milk when kept near their companion. That's pretty cool. Do you know what a group was back in on the poker. I've kind of been kind of passive these past hands. Peter's still doing his own thing, going all in. I feel sorry for you, Peter. I guarantee you, isn't the way to make money in this game. And he keeps on getting very unlucky. But that's what happens when you go all in with deuce 8 off. Deuce 8 off. Oh, we bought in for $1 million now. That's more. Let's see, how much do you actually have? Oh, you have 208 million. 208 million. Oh, let's see. Interesting. I would not be fussed if Peter dropped out and it became a 1v1 against Peter. I would the money donation that way. Ace 4 suited is a strong hand because you can make a flush, which means that there's 5 cards all the same suit. It's a little bit tricky and unlikely to hit, but still not terrible. Oh, that's not a good flop for us. What flop means is that it's the first 3 cards to come out of the 5 on the table. I'm going to fold because I can't make my flush anymore because there's no clubs. Yeah, this is such an obvious game though, man. Like, people bet when they have it, and they go all in when they just have junk. Like, that guy obviously had it. So thus he bet. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got very lucky there. I didn't expect Peter to have such a strong hand. Getting this. No flush. Here's the next fact, and it's about history. The Great Fire of London in 1666. It destroyed around 13,000 houses, 13,087 churches, yet only 6 deaths were recorded. Isn't that crazy? I don't know how that happens. It did. Thankfully, it wasn't a large Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender? He co-owned a tavern called Barry and Lincoln in New Salem, Illinois. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if smart decisions and not foolishly giving your money away. I learned this saying originally about golf. That, the key to being a great golfer is just not making poor shots. You don't need to be a guy hitting a 300-yard drive to be a good golfer. You don't need to have your irons dialed in where you're always hitting within 5 feet of the hole. Honestly, that's the dream, but realistically, to be a great golfer, you just don't make big mistakes. You're never looking in the deep bushes for your ball. You're always around the fairway, making solid, non-mistake shots. I like to think of poker to be I think that poker is very similar to golf in that way, where it's impossible to make the statistically correct decision 100% of the time, or just make this the absolute perfect bet size so you get the most amount of money from your opponents. Like, that's impossible to always be perfect. But you can avoid making dumb mistakes, and that is actually the number one key to becoming a successful poker player, in my opinion. But that being said, I am far from being an expert poker player myself, but I like to say that I know enough about the game to be decently successful. Already. Is Peter gonna go all in again? No, he's not. My goal for this video series is that over time it's gonna be like exponential growth. Right now I'm playing buy-ins of 1 million. But next, my goal for this video series is that over time there will be exponential growth in my overall bankroll. Obviously, it takes a long time to go from $1 million each hand, like that's saying an increase of $1 million each hand, starting at 1 million, or 2 or 3 million, up to 1 billion. That's a lot, because a billion is 1,000 millions. But I'm hoping there will be more exponential growth where quite quickly I'm playing for $50 million from the $2 million side of things, and then from there going up, like it just taking care of itself. So unlike real poker where you kind of stay at the same bankroll and same stakes, I'm hoping to really rapidly accelerate my poker stakes in this game. This normally should be a fold, but I'm going to be a little bit sticky and see if I can hit a diamond. I cannot. So now, if I hit a 10, that would be a straight, but the chances of hitting a 10 are very low. Very low, very low, very low. Okay, we'll play a couple more hands in this video. 7. If there was an 8, we would have a straight. 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack is a straight, which means that there's 5 cards in a row that are all in order. Those are hard to hit, and overall, there's my 8. See, it says straight, but it came after I folded because overall chances of hitting that straight are very low. But that means the other side of that is because it's hard to hit a straight. That means that if you do hit it, the ranking of that hand is quite high, and you can beat all the pairs. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I actually think there might be a hand ranking chart here. there's a straight 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 cards in a row. After that is a flush. You notice how they're all the same suit. Then we have a full house, which is 3 of one type of card and 2 of the other. The crazy hands that you rarely see. 4 of a kind, a straight flush, so a straight plus a flush, and then a royal flush, which is a straight flush, but using only the high cards. Pretty cool. In real life, I've never, ever hit a straight flush. Sorry, a royal flush, but on this game I have, mainly because it's really fast-paced, and it's easy to play lots of hands. Honestly, this is an interesting spot. I might bet into it to get people to fold. Oh my goodness, that didn't work. Really didn't work. The flush came. That's not good. Let's buy in one more time. I'm sure Peter can lend us some more money. There we go. I would love to keep it three-handed. That's going to result in some serious mistakes. The reason why I was okay with going all in on that hand previously was because I had the top pair, and it's unlikely that they're going to have better hands than me in that moment. That guy had the flush, or he had a flush draw, meaning that another heart had to come, which ultimately it did. But chances are that another heart wasn't going to come, and therefore, I was actually in the statistical lead. Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to fold that, I suppose. I was in this. No, I shouldn't have folded that. Jesus. I forgot who I was playing with for a second. Oh, this guy. Let's do it. What the hell? That's not what I want to see. Okay. I swear, we can do this. Normally, you would never want to play 8-3, but with how wide these guys are playing and it only being three-handed, I feel like I basically can play any 2 cards. And as long as I don't, get out of line, I should be okay. The next fact is that bananas are very slightly radioactive because they contain potassium-40. That means that though that you need to eat tens of millions of bananas to receive a dangerous dose. Honestly, I kind of want to pressure Peter to make these all-ins when I have an ace. Oh no. There goes Peter. Okay, we're gonna play with this hand. Actually, I'm just gonna leave. I wasn't gonna win that hand. This is called spin and go. Basically, there's only one winner. We all put in the same amount, 250,000. And the winner gets whatever that the jackpot is, which is 500k in this case. The thing to note is that there's no pre-flop betting. It just goes straight to the flop. Oh my goodness, we're in much down here. Oh my god, he keeps calling. Ace 2, 3. I lose to a 4, but like, I've got 2 pair, top 2. Maybe as a set. No, I'm way, way, way better. Call. Okay, well, 2 is hard. I'm gonna just bet to get him out. Oh, he wanted to play, okay. I hope you fold. Oh shoot. Okay, you can have it. See, there was a perfect example of where I thought I first was ahead, but when he re-raised me, deep and put even more money in after I tried to make it more expensive to play. That demonstrated a lot of strength, and with good reason, he did have a stronger hand there. There's not a ton of bluffing in this game. People are just either wild about it, or I should say there's not a lot of disciplined bluffing in this game. Okay, I'm happy to bet that. I made a pair of 9s. Chances are he doesn't have a queen, because there's already 2 on the board. If he goes all in, I have to fold. That means he either has a queen or a 10. It's unlikely he has a 9, because I hold another 9. So that was either a crazy bluff, which I don't really believe. Okay, we have top pair. I'm gonna bet it. He might fold here. Yep, he had nothing. Makes sense. Goodness, we'll try to bluff this one. I know he doesn't have an ace. He's probably just call. So he might have a king there. Speaking of king, I've got 2 of them. Honestly, I feel like sometimes, well, actually no. I was gonna say sometimes you should slow play in this game. Oh, that couldn't be better. Oh my goodness, what a setup. Ace 9 actually could be a bully hand. Force him to either commit or fold. He probably, oh, he did. Yeah, exactly. You force him to commit. I'm gonna end it there today, folks. Thanks so much for joining me. We ended up not really winning much. I think we lost, what, $1 million? But, that just was some bad luck, I think. I hope you enjoyed watching. And let me know if you want to continue watching and continue this series. I like playing poker, so this is a fun little experiment to see how high we can raise this bankroll. This is